Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, and glory to my power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. Peace and blessings to the whole full elect. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. I'm the brother Kadar from the GMS branch from Chicago, coming back with another video. And this video is going to be entitled History, Episode 61. Amalek funded slave ships. Okay, and before I get started, I want to say Yahweh Bashem Shai Babu Kusha Shalak Racha Kodashka Labana Havachiyar, which means Yahweh Bashem Shai, please say in Holy Spirit to build the elect, and Lord willing this lesson is edifying. You know, this book was gifted to me, blessed to me by the beloved Elder Nakama here in GMS Chicago. All right, I was very excited that the elder blessed me with this book. You know, it's called, and some more books as well, but the, when I took the books, I was really contemplating on which one I should start, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not even going to overthink it. The Spirit going to do what it do, and this, I think I've received like 4 or 5 books. It was about 4 or 5. And this was the only one that was on my spirit the whole time, So I was like, you know what? Okay, that's the Lord right there. Let me grab this one, Let me, try to get at least 5, 6 chapters, 6 pages in a day, fit it in between my work and training schedule as well, and these, hey, straight off, usually books, they start slow, but hey, this one got right to the point, man. I was like, hey, shit, let's do it. Call all y'all about Shema Shai. So let me read this real quick. This is page, I believe it's page 3. Page 3 is, I believe. Let's see. Okay. Yep. Give me 1 second. Let's start from the top. It says, it is essential to comprehend the seaport of Newport. It is important in order to recognize the Jewish share in the slave commerce. There was a period when it was commonly referred to as the Jewish Newport World Center, the U-ish. I'm going to just say U-ish. Okay, just to be on the safe side. It says the World Center of Slave Commerce. Altogether at this time, there was in North America a 6 U-ish communities: Newport, Charleston, New York, Philadelphia, Richmond, and Savannah. There were also many other ish people scattered over the entire East Coast. Although New York held first place in the settlers of ish in North America, Newport held second place. New York was also the main source of kosher meat, supplying the North American settlements when the West Indies islands and also South America, now Newport, took over. Newport also became the great trade harbor of the East Coast of the North America. There vessels from other ports met to exchange commodities. Newports, as previously mentioned, represented the foremost place in commerce of rum, whiskey, and liquor dealers, and to conclude, it finally became the main center of slave dealings. It was from this port that the ships left on their way across the ocean to gather their black human cargo and then derive great sums of money in exchange for them. An authentic contemporary report based on authority indicates that 128 slave ships, for instance, unloaded in Charleston. Within 1 year, their cargo, 120 of these were undersigned by the ish from Newport and Charleston by their own name. About the rest of them, one can surmise, although that they were entered as Boston, Norfolk, and Baltimore, their real owners were similarly the ish slave dealers from Newport and Charleston. Okay? So this is the key right here. All right. It says one is able to assess the ish share in their entire dealings of the Newport, if one considers the undertaking of the lone-ish Portuguese Aaron Lopez, who plays an important part in the overall story, of the ish in slavery. Okay, so now I went right here when it talks about the U-ish slave owners. All right, who's on the top of the list? It says Aaron Lopez, Moses Levy, Jacob Franks, ethnicity U-ish. The name of the ship was Abigail. Okay, proving, this is proof that we are the Israelites, because these people, those 1948ers over there in that land, haven't suffered this, man. This is prophecy that we were going to go through this. They haven't went through this. They haven't suffered that, man. This was something that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans went through. Okay, because not only they don't tell you that even though the so-called Negroes was being taken over here to the Americas, they don't tell you that the Indians or the Native Americans and Latinos were being taken over to Europe. Okay, or what they call Europe, all right, which we know is Western Asia. All right, why they the reason why they call it Eurasia. Okay, so let me read this one down here just to prove that point. It says, "Let us follow the journey of one ship owned by a slave dealer, Aaron Lopez," that name comes up again, "which had made many trips to the African coast. For instance, in the month of May 1752, the ship Abigail was equipped with about 9,000 gallons of rum." That's a lot of fucking... Hey, it says a great supply of iron foot and hand restraints, pistols, powder, sabers, and a lot of worthless tin ornaments. And under the pistols, powders, sabers, so like under the command of the Jewish Captain Friedman, sailed off for Africa. There were but 2 mates and 6 sailors, compromising the crew. 3.5 months later, they landed on the African coast. Meanwhile, they had been constructed an African agency by the Jewish slave dealers who had corralled them and prepared them for sale. This organization reached deep into Africa and had many ramifications, including the heads of groups, villages, etc. And it goes on to say this method to win favor, with the because they were making deals with Ham as well. Okay, but this is Deuteronomy 28. All right, because this proves that we are the children of Israel. All right, the curses of Deuteronomy. All right, because if you read Deuteronomy 28 to 15, okay, so like in 14, the Lord tells you what will happen if we obey him, if we serve him righteously. All right, and from 15 all the way down to 48 is what will happen if we disobey him. And this is a major prophecy that was fulfilled, man. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 48. It's 68, Salaki. It says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again." Okay. It says, "And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you," meaning no man shall redeem you. All right, our people have never been back to our homeland, Jerusalem, since. Okay. Hey, Egypt represents a bondage, captivity, slavery. We were under hard captivity under the Egyptians, man. Okay. And the Lord said he was going to bring us back into captivity or under that hard bondage with ships. All right. Here in the Americas. Okay. And those Amalekites, they did not go through that, man. They did not. Okay. This, as a matter of fact, let me go up to 43 and 44 because I had that written down. Okay, it says, let's see. 28, 43. It's Deuteronomy 28 and verse 43. "The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low." Right? Esau is in a position of power right now, and the Israelites are at the bottom of the bottom. All right, the basest man is in power right now. Verse 44, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail, because we're at the bottom. Okay? What they say, the popular quote, they say, first fired, last hired. Okay? That's the curses. Okay? Which also proves that we are the Israelites, man. Our people are fucked up, man. Okay? Hey, but these things are coming out, okay, because Yahweh Shemel Shai is putting the spirit on his men first and foremost. All right, then you have the whistleblowers, okay, because they have their role as well. All right, you got these other nations exposed to Esau, Edom, but it was done by the prophets first, okay, and it's being spearheaded by the prophets first, man. This Habakkuk 2 in verse 15, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that thou puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness, which Esau, Edom has done to our people. Verse 16, thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So it's not critical race theory. It's critical race historical facts, man. Like the Elder Malcolm says, man, hey, go like and subscribe. Okay, because contrary to what they're trying to make you believe, because every year they're changing up the history books, okay? Trying to say the slaves willingly came into the ships. That's fucking false, man. Okay? They don't want you to know that the ships were funded by the 1948ers, by the small hatters. Okay? That they funded all of this. All right, that they're cheating and scamming the world. But now everyone knows now, man. Everyone knows how much of a devil that these Amalekites are, man. All right, and call law Yahweh Shemel Shai, because not a whole world has you got the term black fatigue. The whole world has Amalek fatigue, man. Or you-ish fatigue, man. Okay, I'll leave that there so you can read it. All right, let me see. All right, cool. Let me read this one right here. It says, once they reach, I believe this is page 9. It says, once they reached the coast, the black slaves were driven together, and restraints were applied to hold them until the next transport ship docked. The agent, many of them Jews who represented the chief, then began to deal with the captain. Each Negro was personally presented to him, but the captains had learned to become suspicious. The black one must move his fingers, arms, legs, and the entire body to ensure that there were not any fractures. Even the teeth were examined. If a tooth was lacking, they lowered the price. Most of the Jews, most of the ish agents knew how to trick sick Negroes with chemicals in order to sell them as sound. Each Negro was valued at about 100 gallons of rum, 100 pounds of gunpowder, or in cash between $18 to $20. The notations of a captain informed us that on September 5th, 1763, one Negro bought as much as 200 gallons of rum due to the biddings among the agents raising the price. Okay, let's keep reading. I'm gonna grab this precept that the Spirit's telling me to get. This it says, women under 25 years, pregnant or not, resulted in the same measure if they were well and comely. Any over 25 years lost 25%. And here it should be stated that those Negroes purchased free at the African coast for $20 to $40 were then resold by the same slave dealers in America for $2,000. So it shows you how much of a scammer Amalek is. All right, give me 1 second. All right, so I can. All right, cool. This Joel 3 and verse 1. It says, for behold, in those days, as a matter of fact, let me grab it here. Joel 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, and I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, Okay, it says Jehoshaphat, or Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh judge. All right, which means a judgment. Okay, it says and will plead with them. All right, because the word plead goes to Shaphat, which means to judge. It says, therefore my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and pardoned my land. Okay, and that's what the heathens have done, starting with Esau, Edom. All right, and that chief tribe Amalek. Verse 3, they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Okay, and that's what Esau, Edom has done. All right, what did it say? It says, one Negro brought as much as 200 gallons of rum. Okay. So, hey, Esau was selling a boy for a harlot, man. All right, hey, so this devil has to pay for this, man. And Amalek didn't go through that, man. They didn't go through that at all. Okay? So that proves that they aren't the children of Yahweh Bashim Shai, man. This Revelation 18:6. Revelation 18:6, it says, reward her even as she rewarded you. Okay, and double unto her double according to her works, and the cup which she had filled to her double. Right, so Esau, okay, is going to have to drink of that cup double. All right, he's going to be put into chains. All right, as a matter of fact, let's grab that Psalm 149. Because all of them are going to have to go in chains, man. All right, because, hey, they were all confederate together. Okay, it's Psalms 149:5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people. Okay, so we're going to execute vengeance upon them. All right, they're going to have to drink of that cup double. All right, they're going to have to go through what we went through. All right, it says to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with feathers of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. So this is the judgment written by Yahweh Bashim Shai, that the heathens is going to have to be put into captivity, man. All right, and Esau, Edom was the only nation that wasn't promised mercy. Okay, so he's going to be exterminated after, man. All right, read the book of Obadiah. Read Job 18. Read Job 20. Okay? Read the book of Isaiah. This Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Who led into captivity? Who the fuck funded this, man? All right? It says, shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Right, this is the patience and the faith of the saints. Okay? So, Esau Edom's going to have to pay for this, man. He's going into slavery. Okay, and then he's going to be exterminated afterwards, man. All right, and the heathen is going to go into slavery right along with his red ass, man. Okay? And Tawada Yahweh Bashim Shai for the inspiration. Tawada to the Elder Malcolm, for the book, man. Lord, will I continue to bring out more lessons like this, man, because these type of things must come out. Okay? Shameful spewing is being put on this devil's glory, man. Okay? He's just gonna have to shut off this whole internet, man. All right, so Lord, what is us edifying? I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to those who elect. Lord willing to be a part of that number. Shalom, Kwame Sharala. Why Bible Ball.